Hello! Today I'm going to be taking a look at this beautiful box of Holbein Artist Gouache. This is the Traditional Colours of Japan Irodori set in winter. I already have videos up for summer and autumn, so do check out those videos if you would like to see which colours ended up in those boxes. So I'm following through the seasons and we will look at winter today. So these are traditional gouaches. They will reactivate with water. They're not like the acrylic gouaches which won't. And if I open this box up, another set of beautiful tubes. They are just so pretty. My next task will be to swatch all of these wonderful colours out. I have not looked at these previously, other than seeing the tubes on the outside. I don't even know exactly which colours are in here, so it's always fun just finding that out together. This is the colour palette for summer, and then we also have the colour palette for autumn, so you can see that autumn is a much warmer palette, and in summer this one has the black and the white gouache. So we'll find out which interesting colours the winter set has. I'm guessing more muted colours because winter does obviously tend to be a lot more muted than summer, and so I will be very curious to see what the palette's going to look like. So let's get into it. Okay, I thought there was a double here for a minute. I'm looking at this one and it says antique gold, and in the autumn set there is also an antique gold, and I'm thinking I have both sets got the same one. But no, the autumn set here has antique rich gold, so it's a slightly warmer colour. I would be really curious to see how these ones compare to one another. I think this one might be more yellow. So here's my swatch sheet. I've written all the names and the pigment numbers out. Quite a lot of red iron oxide in here this time around, and also a few phthalo blue bases and phthalo green. Interestingly enough, the crimson here is actual alizarin crimson. PR83 is the original alizarin crimson pigment, and that is the one that is not light fast. It's been proven many times to not be light fast. I'm super curious to swatch it out because it is such a stunningly beautiful pigment. It's just got that fugitive quality to it. And I noticed it is also in the russet green, would you believe? There is a little bit of it in there. Now I'll actually paint it out, and I'm just taking it straight from the tube because I didn't want to put the paints in the palette just yet. Yes, that is very much alizarin crimson. It's a beautiful colour, but as I said before, it is quite fugitive when it comes to sunlight, so it's a very heartbreaking pigment. But moving on to one which is far more light fast, the iron oxide red. This is PR101, a very commonly used earthy pigment in modern day, and you'll see that the iron oxide red is quite a brickish red, but this russet brown, which is also PR101, is much different, and it's so interesting how one pigment can create such different colours. I always find that fascinating. PR101 is great for doing that. This next one, dark brown, also has it, but it also has a bit of black mixed in. What I didn't actually notice until later is that there is no yellow in this set, which is kind of annoying, but this patina colour, which is a deep phthalo green blue shade, is a gorgeous colour. I really love that one. And then coming into russet green, that is much more of a mix of colours and a lot more like a sap green or olive green, so those are both quite nice. And next up is this geisha blue, which is a mix of phthalo blue, phthalo green and white, so it's a very opaque colour, really bright blue, and I was thinking this could be a really good colour for ice, so I like that colour in the set. The hummingbird blue also has a greenish tint to it and a bit of yellow in there. It's quite an ocean colour blue, and I really love that. It also has a more translucent feel. And then coming into peony, it's this bright purpley magenta colour. It's so pretty, but it's such a random colour in the set. I think of the three boxes that I've tried, the winter set is the most strange when it comes to colour palettes. I do like that Riku grey though. I think that's a good colour and a nice wintry one. And then we have blue black, which I can't decide is indigo or Payne's grey. It's somewhere in between, I think. That's always a useful colour and great for shadows. The last one we have is this beautiful metallic antique gold, which is much more yellow than the antique rich gold in the autumn set. Well, this is definitely an interesting colour palette. That antique gold is shiny. That's so pretty. I love that peony purple colour too. Actually, this little grouping of colours is really pretty, and that is definitely alizarin crimson. So I guess I will do some paintings. I don't know what I'm going to do. I always have this quandary. I like to swatch the colours out first so that I can see what colours are in there, and that usually gives me the inspiration to then create some pictures. So I need to put my thinking cap on and I'll see what artworks I can come up with this winter palette. For my first artwork, I'm drawing a bird, and it is a female cardinal. I saw a photo of it and thought it was really cute. I'm afraid my drawing's not very good of it, but it was eating seeds, and someone had captured it with its wing out, and I just thought it was a really fantastic photo. In the free reference photos for artists Facebook group, once again, there's some amazing pictures in there. We do not have cardinal birds in Australia, but I do seem to see them a lot around winter for the Northern Hemisphere, so I guess they're associated with winter up there. And I thought it would be fun to try painting one. And also the colours in the winter set matched up with the photo, so I thought this would be a great inspiration. Anyway, I'm going in with the alizarin crimson to start with, and then I started to mix it in with some of those brown oxide colours just to tone it down a little bit, because the female cardinals aren't as brightly plumaged as the male ones. That grey colour was also really good for the feathers, but annoyingly there's just no yellow in this set aside from the antique gold, so it was very difficult to match exact colours because a lot of animals have some sort of yellow in their feathers or their fur. But I did my best, and the grey worked pretty well mixed in with some of the reds. See, I couldn't even really make an orange, I just had to mix in the red and the brown together, and that's as close as I could get. I found that of the 3 sets I've tried so far, the winter is definitely the most difficult set of colours. I just got quite confused by it. The whole colour palette doesn't seem to make quite as much sense as some of the other ones, but I did the best with what I had, and the 2 greens are really nice colours, also mixed in with that grey. I think the grey was one of the most useful colours in the set, and later on that blue-black also worked out really well too. So I'm just painting in a background. It got a bit messy here and took over the painting a little bit, but I just kept going until I was happy, and this painting turned out a little cartoonish, but I still quite like it anyway. She turned out kind of cute. Next painting, I was just way too lazy to use a pencil, so I just sketched my outline with brush and paint for this one. I decided to do a wintry looking mountain. I think this is meant to be the Matterhorn. I'm not too sure how accurate it is, but I just started sketching out some lines to define the shape and a few of the shadowy areas on the mountain. And I went in with that really bright hummingbird blue for the sky. It got a bit patchy because the gouache was drying really quickly on the paper, but I just kept painting over it until it looked okay. And the good thing is with gouache like this is that you can re-wet it and it will dilute out a bit more. It really is a pretty colour. I like this one very much. Once I had finished painting the sky, I then started painting in the darker parts of the mountain with that blue-black, and I was trying to get some shadow there. It didn't look quite right, so I had to go over it a few times just to make it look more like a mountain should. Because there is no white in this set, which is kind of annoying for winter, I initially was leaving parts of the paper white to represent the snow. It just didn't look quite right though, so you can see I've squirted out some white gouache onto my palette down the bottom, and I did end up using a bit to blend in with some of the other colours that I chose to use on the mountain. I also added in some of that lighter geisha blue, some of the grey, and I think a bit of the hummingbird blue as well, to show different light reflections off the snow and give it a more 3D effect. I actually quite like how this turned out. I wasn't sure it was going to work at the beginning, but I just kept layering on the paint, and by the end it actually turned out looking quite effective. So this was probably the best painting of the three that I did, at least in my opinion. I enjoyed this one the most. And it feels the most wintry of all of them. Okay, it's pretty basic, but I kind of like how it turned out, and I think it looks like the Matterhorn. Tell me what you think. So in my third and final painting, I really, by now, just had no idea what else to paint. This colour palette was really baffling me, and I just could not jibe it with winter. So I did another abstract piece, and I was originally thinking of some kind of forest again, which is what I was doing in the autumn one, and that didn't really turn out like a forest. This one didn't either, but firstly, I had all of that brown paint to get rid of, so there's so much of it on here, and then I painted the rest of the white with that lovely green colour that I just didn't really get a chance to use, and so I had a lot left on the palette. Patina, that's the name of it. I don't have the book in front of me, so I just am struggling to remember the names of them. I was then thinking maybe lichen and fungi on tree trunks or something like that, so I was just painting in the other colours to try and get that effect. The grey doesn't look too bad, but yeah, this was turning into a complete and utter disaster, and I just, by now, was going, what do I do? So I just kept painting. There's that lovely peony colour that I just also didn't really know what to do. I was thinking forest flowers or something. Sometimes when I'm having a mental block like I was here, I'll just keep painting stuff on, and I'll keep layering until hopefully inspiration will hit me. I took a couple of days to actually do this one because I painted all of the colours out to take them off the palette so I could clean everything up. And that antique gold is so super pretty. It looked wonderful over the top of everything. But I started to outline things and it didn't look good, so I left it. And then the following day, I thought maybe I could try and turn this into an underwater scene rather than a forest. So I cut out this squid, and then I found a little crayfish thing here, which I fussy cut with my scissors, and it just took forever to do this, but I got there eventually. At least my hand's working again, so I was able to get a lot more precision this time around. So in a previous video when I reviewed the sticker books, I had complained a bit about the seashore one, but it actually worked perfectly for today's video, so I'm happy I have it, and the stickers were great for it. I also grabbed out one of the little coral kelp pieces and stuck that on after I'd chopped off some of the paper. Some of it was really difficult to get at, so I just used a gold pen that I pulled out of my stash to go over the sticker a little bit and kind of merge it into the background. I don't hate how this turned out. I think it actually came out quite pretty, and the addition of the gold pen worked really well. I mean, I could have added more gold gouache, but I just don't think it would sit on top of the shiny stickers, so this is a solvent-based gold pen, and it just works so much better for that, and I just really like using it, so any excuse is a good one. I just added in some little dots to make it look like bubbles, and this is how the picture turned out. I'm actually really happy with it. So I'm not gonna lie, I struggled with this set a lot more than the other two, but I did my best, and at least I've got some paintings. I really love the gold. I think the antique gold is so pretty, and I do like how it's reflecting in its feathers. The cardinal's a bit funny looking, its eyes too cartoonish, but never mind. I got a picture done, and I don't mind the colours, but I found this colour palette just challenging when I was thinking of winter scenes. I was also missing that yellow. I really wish there was a yellow in this set. And here are my other two, the most wintry of the three of them, I would say. And then this one, which turned into an abstract underwater scene, and I don't hate it. The stickers saved this, I think, and the gold pen. These sticker books are paying for themselves, I swear. I have been enjoying making one abstract art piece, so I might end up doing that for the last painting session I do with the gouaches for the spring as well. I'll see how I go. So let me know what you think of these paints. Do you like the colour palette that are in them? Or like me, do you feel like it's quite a strange palette of colours? And what would you paint with them? Because I was really struggling for ideas on this one. It's so hard sometimes to come up with a video when I have just no idea what to paint, but I got something, I'm happy about that, and I have one more video to do, which is spring. Probably in my next video. I think I just want to get them all done because otherwise I'm going to get distracted and then forget about it. Thank you so much for watching this. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and click the subscribe button. It really helps out my channel and I appreciate all of you. I will see you all again really soon in my next video, and I hope you're staying safe and well out there. Swatch you later. Bye!